Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of In the Know with Intrado. This week we are going to be talking about one of my favorite types of content, the podcast. Now, if you've maybe been napping for the last several years, a podcast is a digital audio file available to listeners online. They are typically series, and there are a lot of them out there in the world across all types of streaming platforms. According to Apple, as of 2019, there were over 700,000 active podcast series with over 29 million episodes. So it can be pretty easy to get lost in the podcasting universe. For marketing and communications teams, podcasts can function as a new channel in a content marketing strategy. But to stand out in the podcasting universe, you'll have to make sure that you're at the top of your game. If you've always wanted to create a podcast and are just starting out, here are 5 best practices you can implement to make sure that your series is a successful one. First, make sure that you're passionate about your topic. It is really easy to build a podcast based on what's trending, but that's going to come across as very forced. However, if you are really genuinely passionate about your topic and you can speak to it like an expert, you are going to come across as more genuine and trustworthy, and that is key to building a loyal audience following. Second, make sure you have a plan. Everything else on this list is going to come much easier as long as you have thought them through and listed out what you're going to do ahead of time. Going in with a solid plan about your content strategy, your format, equipment, promotion, and schedule is going to make everything else easier. Third, be realistic about the time this is going to take. A lot of people think that podcasting is nothing more than recording an audio file and tossing it up onto the internet, but there is a lot more to it than that. You have to plan and research your topics, source guests, edit, publish, and promote. And all of these things take time. So make sure that you take the time to create quality podcast content and plan everything out. Fourth, building on that idea of quality, make sure you are using decent equipment. You don't need to go out and drop thousands of dollars on a mic and a sound studio, but you should probably be using more than just the microphone on your cell phone, especially if you're conducting interviews. While there is definitely a time and the place for less polished, more casual content, when you are first starting out in this space and you're trying to make a name for yourself, it is really important that you come across as professional and committed so you don't get lost in the ether. And having a high quality sound is pretty imperative to that. Finally, number 5, make sure that you maintain a consistent posting schedule. This ties back into your planning process. Once you have started to build a following, you want to make sure that you're meeting your audience's expectations. It doesn't matter if you publish weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or whatever. Just make sure that you can commit to publishing on an expected and regular basis. Once listeners start to enjoy your content, they'll be looking for it on a schedule, and you don't want to get lost to them. When you are starting your planning process, just make sure that you can create a content publishing schedule that you can realistically stick to. There's a lot more that can be said about podcasting, but as usual, that's all I have time for today. If you do want to learn more about podcasting, specifically why you should consider creating one for your company, go ahead and check out our blog written by President Ben Choder. The link is in our video description. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, my name is Dana Miller, and this has been In the Know with Intrado Digital Media. Take care.